Hello, this is Alfonso Escámez and welcome to a new chapter of Indie Talks. Today we are going to know a brand with more than 35 years of history and a highly value in the Spanish and international market. We're going to know Frederique Constant. We welcome Niels Eggerding, his CEO. Welcome to Madrid, a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Before starting the conversation, I would like to thank also Unión Suiza for allowing us to be here. Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure to have this view of the Gran Via during Christmas.
I absolutely agree.
Then, Niels, introduce yourself to the audience. Who is Niels Eggerding?
Yeah, that's so my name is Niels. I'm Dutch, real Dutch. 13 years now living in Geneva. Started to work for Frederique Constant back in 2012 and was hired for, let's say, in that time, commercial director. And since 2018, I've been promoted to lead the company. And it's a privilege still today. I have a family based in, let's say, in Geneva. And I'm super happy to be here in Madrid today with you.
Thank you so much. What was your previous experience before getting involved in Frederique Constant?
I was, so I have like 25 years of watch experience. I've worked for 11 years for Swatch Group before I came to Frederique Constant.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember your first watch as a kid?
For sure, I remember my first watch, and this is I get these questions more, but it was a Citizen watch, and I still have it.
Oh yeah?
I received it from my granddad in that time. We went to the shops, and he said to me, "Niels, you have a budget, you can choose a watch," and I choose a Citizen.
Wow. Tell us a little bit about the history. 36 years of history about Frederique Constant.
So it's a brand that started by Peter and Aletta Stas, a Dutch couple. They were in that time expatriate based in Hong Kong, working for ING Bank, a Dutch bank, but also Peter was working for Philips as a product marketing director. And when they traveled back, they were always inspired by beautiful watches in the window in Geneva, going on ski holiday, Patek Philippe. And they could not find the same look and feel watch, but for an accessible price. And there the idea of the brand started. And they have been doing a lot, I have to say, but the most significant move they make is that the brand operates in a price between €750 all the way up to €4,000 or €5,000. That's the core. But the significant move they make is that they created their own movement. And that started back in 2004 by having unlimited flexibility of design, but also growth potential, because or else you're relying on third-party movement supply. That became unique. That really sets the brand apart from the competition. And today we are 31 in-house movements later and very successful with that strategy.
What do you think is the brand DNA?
The brand DNA for me, it's for me, we consider ourselves as the young watch manufacturer, innovative watch manufacturer from Geneva. And I would say it's a classical brand. And in the past 5 years, we have been pushing the brand a bit more to sport chic and a bit more sport elegant, classic elegant, dynamic look and feel. And we created desirability also more in the past years with collaborations we have been doing, but probably we come back to that later. But I would say we are considering ourselves as the young, innovative watch manufacturer from Geneva and a classical DNA-driven brand.
How do you see it's a Swiss brand belonging to a Japanese group, Citizen group. How is the difference of cultures between a Swiss Dutch brand with Japanese owners?
So I remember when we started to communicate the acquirement, that Peter told me, "Niels, you know, it's a good mix because Citizen has the same values as we do as a company." And it's true, they're very transparent, very innovative. You have a lot of value for the price you're purchasing the watch. So in that perception, it's very aligned. but we need to agree on one thing, is that we have a Dutch culture and the Japanese are Japanese. And those cultures are very conflictual. We are super direct in the communication we do also in the company, and the Japanese are not direct. So it really had some challenges.
How were the first meetings? Quite confusing.
Yeah, very confusing. I can tell you. Even with Peter in that time, it was very confusing. Yeah.
We have been talking at the beginning that you are a very value company, Swiss watchmaking brand, due to the ratio that you have between quality and price.
Yeah.
How are you able to give that quality for that price?
It is already for 36 years the business model. We would like to give access, let more people enjoy luxury, so we would like to give access to a large group to luxury. We choose to do that by not having expensive ambassadors, by not having an army of Hollywood stars or a Formula One team, or you can name all the expensive marketing tools. For us, the product is key. The product is basically the marketing tool. And by doing this, focusing on the product, we have been driving volume in the past years, and we have been able to take less margin than the most brands do. And with that, we need volume, and we can offer a fantastic package, high value price.
How do you see the market nowadays? Because it's clear that it's a downturn in 2024, less sales, increasing prices. How do you see it from the perspective of a watch brand?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting, challenging time we going in. We have been, in 2019, it was still very stable. 2020, we all know we had COVID. And then quite quickly after COVID, it was a huge peak. People were somehow driven by spending, by doing something, buying something nice. We have seen record numbers for Cartier, Rolex. We saw that trend a bit later because we are lower in price. Now it's coming back to a normality. But if you go to such a high peak, you have to go slightly deeper before you pick up a normality. And I think it's going to be upcoming year is going to be very challenging. We see, for instance, on our side, much more volume picking up. The previous years was much more high-end driven. We could see manufacture, Willtimer, tourbillon selling easily. And now we can see that the volume is really picking up. And I think that's good too, because for a retailer, it's important that you have traffic in the store. And we are spot on with the pricing we have. So I'm quite okay with that.
Can you tell us a little bit about your different collections? And which one is the bestseller?
Okay, yeah, sure. We have 3 pillars. Classics, by far the biggest volume we do. It's a very DNA-driven collection where it starts from 750 euro all the way up to 3,000 euro. Then we have the High Life. That's a new collection. That's the one that I'm wearing. Sport chic. We never had that, so we really wanted to tap into also a younger audience. It's more dynamic, modern. This is starting price around 1,000 euro with the quartz ladies now. And then you go to the core, 4,500 euro. And then we have the biggest part, the biggest talking part is the manufacture. That's where we built the story and the credibility. And that's a very important area for us. The manufacture, we have it with High Life, but we also have a dedicated classical case that is redesigned with the new movements of manufacture in there. So these are the 3 pillars.
And the bestseller?
The bestseller remains typically Frederique Constant. That's the 335. It's an open heart with a moon face. And we used to have this product already, I would say, for 20 years now in the collection. This really has been the iconic dial design that we have for many years, and it still remains today one of the best sellers we have. Then you have in the manufacture, the most iconic bestseller we have there, it's really the Willtimer.
And what about the novelties of this year? Can you tell us a little bit?
This year or next year?
If you can tell us something about next year, even
It
more.
would be great. Yeah, next year I would be careful because then my communication director
will kill you.
Will kill me. No, this year we had been, and I was happy because it's always a bet when you prepare novelties. But this year we wanted to go back to the base of manufacture, so the entry price of manufacture, a redesigned package just above €3,000, but we wanted to give more value, and we added the power reserve increase. So we went from 38 to 72. And the idea for that was that it's a 12 years proven movement. We modified 5% of the movement. With that, we could increase 72 our power reserve, so almost 85% increase of power reserve. And because it's so proven reliable, we also give 5 years warranty to that movement. And that has been the focus for this year. But also on the quartz side, because we are true to our DNA, and we launched a Moneta, that's a 37 millimeter case with a coined dial ring, and it has been very successful so far.
It's a new model, but it's classic and it's both for men and women, right?
Yes, yeah, the Moneta, we have a Carré launched this year, and the Moneta, both quartz, just around €1,000. And the Carré is purchased more by men, while we were saying it's a lady collection, and the Moneta is purchased more by women even. So it's interesting.
And can you tell us something about the future, about what is coming for 2026?
Yeah, in the coming year, we of course we have watches and wonders. That's going to be always the focus for manufacture. So you will have a new redesigned movement coming back. So it's a bit higher end, but also with the 72-hour power reserve package. And later in the year, we have a surprise. Something on, let's say, price range between €1,000 to €2,000, where we have something new and fresh coming in.
Okay, great. In 20 years, you have released more than 30 different calibers.
Yeah.
How you have been able to do that, because it's most probably out of the range of any other brand?
Yeah, we need to say one thing. It's 31 in-house movements, but it's divided mostly over 2 conceptions. So we have 3 conceptions. It's the 700 series. That's the biggest one. It's a strong industrialized movement, base caliber. We do the world timer on this one, the 718. We have the 716 moon phase pointer date, the pointer date 706, perpetual calendar 775. It's all based on the 700 series. Then we jump to the monolithic, exceptional, innovative, highly demanding in terms of manpower and constant monitoring. And then the last one is the tourbillon, the 900 series. Then we have the tourbillon and the perpetual calendar tourbillon.
I was going to ask you about the monolithic.
I was thinking about that.
Are you going to focus more or less in that special caliber? Are you going to keep on doing that kind of research and development for improving or including this caliber in other collections?
No, I think, if you look at the monolithic, it's one single, let's say, silicium oscillator, replacing 26 components. That is the beating heart of the movement, the conventional assortment. This regulation system has been for 300 years in the watch industry. So what we have been launching, I'm super proud that we have been able to do it. It's super innovative, but it really takes time and care to make it even more perfect. So we are not going to disrupt it too much. We first want to have it perfect. So that's really the aim.
6 years ago, you presented, you released the hybrid.
Yeah.
Will you keep on doing that kind of mixture of mechanical and quartz calibers?
Mechanical and electronic, connected. This was, by the way, the hybrid was great, because if you think now, that watch should have come now.
Yeah.
Then it's much more interesting, I think, because the world is more ready to it for it now. We will not continue much in the smartwatch technology. It has been something that we launched back in 2015. We were the first Swiss-made horological smartwatch. In that time, the violence from Apple came in. Today, they're twice the size of the whole Swiss industry. We wanted to tap into that with a Swiss-made movement, very horological, very successful in that time. And then later you could see we were expecting more brands to pick up. We were expecting retailer also to be happy with it. But we could see the challenge happening there. And then if you develop further, you need to take a certain decision. Are we going to strengthen manufacture or are we continue to do both? And it's not possible. So we have seen the smartwatch going down in terms of sales, attention from the retail. So we decided to firmly stop the development.
But do you think that nowadays, you have said that you have been too early in that market? Do you think it's a threat for the Swiss industry, the connected watches?
No, I've never believed it's a threat. I think what it helped even is that on an early stage, people that are wearing an Apple Watch, most of those people were not wearing an horological watch. Now they were facing something on the wrist, and that's helping the whole industry, watch industry, finally also to convince that consumer to wear something more mechanical. I think it's something that is melting together quite smoothly.
I think that one of the main target, in my opinion, for the watch brands is to attract new generations into watchmaking.
Yeah.
What are you doing to keep on attracting new generation into watchmaking? Because nowadays they prefer to have the latest smartphone than to have a good watch.
Yeah. I think it's still, for us, it's still the watch itself. So you need to listen very carefully what your consumer, especially younger audience, is willing to purchase. And we could see that it's already for a few years pending now. But that younger generation Y and Z are very attracted to more vintage-looking watches. So if you know that that's what they want, then you can at least make a product that appeals for that audience. Then the price needs to be good, because the younger audience today are much more knowledgeable about pricing. They know much more about what's going on in the world by internet. So that needs to be good. And then it's also the connection to them. Now I have two kids, two young sons, and they don't watch the news on the television anymore.
For sure.
So they get all the information via the phone. So, and that's where, of course, we also need to make sure you are
very
visible
active.
and active.
You have had 2 nominations for the GPHG. What did it mean to you, even that you didn't want the prizes? But is it important for you? Does it give you more visibility towards the clients?
First of all, it was a disaster that we didn't win. No,
for sure.
I'm a good loser, but I was
because there wasn't a special watch in that.
We had 2 very good ones, I would say. But I would also admit that the competition was strong. So you always have like a small desire to win it, of course. And but what it gifted us, I have to say, it has been first of all something very good for your team, all the hard work that you finally have some recognition, but the visibility is amazing with the Grand Prix.
Because the watches are traveling around the world.
Everywhere, and you picked, we are selected, so that gives extra attention. We have been selected with 2 typical manufacturer calibers from us, so also that helps the brand. So no, I was very happy.
You have done a very interesting collaboration for the 2nd year in a row with Peter Speak with the perpetual calendar. What does it mean to you? In the future, we will see more collaboration. I don't know if it will be with Peter again or with other independent brands or watchmakers.
I think with Peter, I was very privileged to collaborate with him. He did an amazing history of watchmaking. He is a brilliant watchmaker permanently. And I was super honored that he was willing to do something with us. So I gifted him carte blanche to design a watch. He could not touch the conception, but he touched everything. And that turned out to be super nice. I think this watch in specific and the watch that we have launched this year, we want to keep it scarce and limited and exclusive. So we are not going to repeat it anymore, but you will see many others coming. Nice collaborations.
Okay, great. Tell us a little bit, what is You have said something about it at the beginning of the conversation. What is the price range? Because you have a very nice starting price point, but even the most complex watches, you are offering them for a very nice price if you compare them with your competitors.
Yeah, the price we have, you mean the price is stronger than our competition?
I think that what you are offering nowadays,
Yeah.
in terms of complicated manufacture, it's in a better price, a better offer than the rest. Because you are offering, I think, the lowest price in a perpetual calendar, and even a perpetual calendar with tourbillon.
Yeah. So these kind of products for us is very important to be competitive in pricing, because we have of course the desire to have a beautiful manufacture caliber, and we would like to position it there, but we also are realistic. We are a brand, we are not Patek, but we do the movements in industrialization that helps us, and let's say in World Timer we do 4,000 pieces a year. That helps us to also keep the cost low, and we can offer the product in a very fair price. We are the only brand in our price range who is capable of doing that. Some brands are doing small quantities external, but we do it fully in-house. And that really is an advantage to keep the price accessible.
How much time could it take you, for example, the perpetual calendar or the perpetual calendar tourbillon, to develop? You have said that you do it in-house. How much time could it take you?
An average development is 3 years. And it depends what complexity you have, but for instance the launch we did last year with the big date, the manufacture, power reserve, moon phase big date, the 3 complications in one, took 3 years. Because before, and we have of course the main plate, the 700 series, that helps, but the testing procedure is very important, but also to make sure you have the right quality. That takes time. So you need minimum 3 years. Some brands are slower, they need minimum 6 years.
Now, after 36 years, you are a successful brand, highly valued by the clients. A lot of collectors buying your watches. But how do you see the future of the brand? Where do you want to be in, let's say, 5 to 10 years?
I would like to own, so that's a very good question. So we are, I think, in the top 35 now of Swiss watch brand exported from Switzerland. And that's quite an achievement for a young brand like us. In the coming 10 years, I would definitely be in the top 25. I'm always looking at that. The Deloitte report, you can see the ranking, and they're quite accurate, I have to say. I think the brand should continue to develop and innovate in the manufacture, doing exceptional things, give the exceptional package for the price. But for us it's very important, the 1,000 to 3,000 euro mark, that's where we penetrate the market. That's where the competition is leaving, and we really want to be steady there and gain market share.
Does it help to belong to the Citizen Group in terms of growth, or do you have any kind of collaboration?
No, not much collaborations other than distribution. They have very strong, let's say, affiliates in the US, but also in Italy, in the UK, where they really own the market with Citizen, and they set up a different business unit for Frederique Constant and opinas. But nowadays, operating in, let's say, the original way of distribution, so you have your factory, you deliver to a local distributor in a country, he's having stock, he's providing service, he's delivering a retailer, and the retailer is selling your brand. You need to have a financial strong group behind you. Will you be successful?
Yeah. What are your most important markets? How do you see the future? Because China is going down. Maybe there are some people saying that India will replace in some moment the demand of China.
I don't believe in that, because it's a complete different market. China has been for a long time pushing, and we all know that the brand has been from an early stage already available there, even in a time when no brand was commercialized, allowed to penetrate the market. And then on top of that, it's a very high-end driven market. India, for me, it's a growing market, fast growing market, but it's still, compared to China, is it still this? But mid-range is very strong. So what you can see there, the difference between poor and rich, that level is big. And it's big, but growing in terms of financial power. And that's where our brand is fitting perfectly. So that's an important market for us. We are there for 20 years already. But US is the fastest growing market. This year I think they already had 37% growth again. And Europe is the biggest continent. So then you have the mapping.
And what about, how do you see the Spanish market, and not only Spain, but only considering Latin America, South America?
Well, Spain is a quite typical market.
Yeah, you told me that it was a quite difficult market.
Yeah, it's not an easy one, because here people are, I think they're quite, how can I say it? The Italian market, for instance, is very trendy, very fashionable, very watch-oriented. It's an authentic watch market for decades. France, they have their own watch from the past. They had their own watches even, production. And they have also some kind of a legacy. In Spain, they're very brand oriented, but very conservative also. That's what I feel. In the years in the past, what I see now, your brand, it takes minimum 10 to 15 years to gain the place, the brand awareness in the market here. And the moment you have that, you start to grow significantly. And that's what I see in Spain. It's conservative, but the moment you see growth, it's continuing to generate growth. So it's a very strong market for us and a very important market. The bridge to Latin America, it remains Spain, Miami, and then you go to Latin America. Latin America, very complicated.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, because it's a high luxury taxes there. So we can think about Brazil. So the people very often from Latin America go to Miami and they buy
or
there.
comes even to Spain.
Or to Spain. Yeah, we see it now a lot, by the way. The tourists coming from Latin America and America, they come to Europe in big numbers.
Then we're about to finish. My last question: you are wearing an amazing watch, but if you were not wearing a Frederique Constant, what brand and model would you wear? Difficult question.
That's a difficult question, yeah.
No limit, huh?
No. I appreciate very much iconic watches. It's a bit a cliche, but I'm very iconic driven, so you can see it on what I'm wearing. But I like, for instance, also the Royal Oak, Nautilus, Vacheron Overseas, very nice also. So if I would choose, I think I would go for 39mm AP Royal Oak.
Jumbo.
Yeah.
Nice watch.
Yeah, I think so. But I will never buy it. It's too expensive.
Niels Eggerding, Frederique Constant, Managing Director. A pleasure to have you here with us for Indie Talks at Doble Firma. Thanks also to Unión Suiza to allowing us to be here.
This we have to say.
And I hope to see you more often here in Spain, in Madrid.
It's not a big thing for me to come here. I come here with pleasure, and we have to say Unión Suiza to support the brand, but also this venue looks amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.